Most agentic workflows you see online spawn a subagent for everything. That's expensive, slow, and usually unnecessary. Here's the three-line decision that saved our team 60% of our token bill and didn't cost us any quality. When you spawn a subagent in the Anthropic Agent SDK, you're paying for an entire new conversation. The system prompt, the tool schemas, the orientation context, all of it retokens from scratch. A subagent invocation typically runs 3,000 to 5,000 tokens of overhead before it does any actual work. A tool call, by contrast, is just one more turn in your existing conversation, maybe 200 tokens of overhead, total. That's 15 to 25 times the per-call cost. Latency follows the same shape. A tool call returns in whatever your tool takes, plus one inference. A subagent has to be primed, do its work, decide it's done, return a summary, 3 to 5 inferences end-to-end. On a fast tool, that's the difference between 200 milliseconds and 2 seconds. On a chain of 10 calls, that's 20 seconds versus 2. Your user notices. Your wallet notices more. So why does everyone reach for subagents anyway? Because the docs make spawning look elegant. One function call, fresh context, clean separation. It feels right. But feels right is not a cost model. The cost model is 15 to 25x. You should reach for it only when the shape of the work actually demands it. There are 3 reasons to actually spawn a subagent. First, the work needs its own context window. If you're searching a codebase and the relevant files are 60,000 tokens, you don't want that in your main context ever. A subagent reads it, summarizes, returns. The main thread stays clean. Second, the work is safely parallel. Subagents can run concurrently. If you need to lint 5 files independently, 5 subagents finish in the time of 1. Third, the work needs to decide its own next steps. If the answer to "what should I do next" depends on what you just found, you need an agent. Pipelines don't decide, agents do. Notice what's not on that list. Quality is not on the list. A subagent does not produce better answers than the main thread. It runs the same model. Memory is not on the list. Subagents start cold every time. Modularity is not on the list. That's a Python pattern, not a model pattern. If you're spawning because the prompt feels too long, the answer is refactor the prompt. If you're spawning because you want a cleaner result, the answer is improve the inline instruction. Don't pay a 20x premium for vibes. Here's how the decision looks in practice. You're building a code review agent. It has to fetch the diff, run the linter, summarize what changed, and recommend fixes. 3 of those 4 are tool calls, deterministic, fast, small. Fetch returns text. Lint returns JSON. The 4th, summarize and recommend, is where you actually have to decide. Is the diff small? 5 files, 200 lines? Keep it in line. Is the diff big, 20 files, 5,000 lines? That's a subagent. Give it the files, let it work in its own context, return a structured summary back. The threshold isn't magic, pick numbers that match your codebase. The point is that the decision is explicit. You don't spawn by reflex. Our team made this one change in February and dropped agent run cost by 60%. Quality measurably did not regress. Subagents are powerful when you actually need them and expensive when you don't. The 3 criteria, own context, parallelism, dynamic decisions, are the entire decision tree. Everything else is a tool call. Treat spawning like a database transaction, a real cost, paid only when the structure demands it. Most of what you're spawning for right now is probably a tool call wearing a hat. If this helped, follow Token Lab. We post one of these every week.